What's up YouTube, Mr. Lamizzi here, and today we're going to be doing a Fire Druid guided playthrough. So we're going to start normal, go to Nightmare, go through Hell. The point of this is for you to play along with me and be able to beat the game overall by yourself. So I've never actually taken a Fire Druid through Hell. This is new with 2.4. I've done Fire Druids through like Nightmare and then I've spec'd out of it. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll probably have to play around and change things up and be a little different when we do get to Hell, because there is going to be the physical immunes, and we'll have to kind of deal with those in some way right there. So when we get there, we'll deal with it. But for now, we will just go through normal and then Nightmare, and then we'll get there. And yeah. So just follow along and we'll be going in there. So the first thing I really just want to talk about is the character and how we're going to spec. We'll be doing enough strength for gear, which will keep pretty low. So it'll probably be 25 at the start, and then we'll go up to like 45, maybe 60 by the end, I would imagine, unless we find something crazy. Probably 0 dexterity, unless again, there's some gear we find that needs a little bit. Vitality will get the rest of everything, and nothing in energy. As for skills, we're probably just running straight down this tree right here. Nothing in shape-shifting. Summoning, we might get a single point in bear, just to have something that can help, you know, just hold a mob still or something along those lines. So we'll probably look at that. But that'll be, you know, much later down the line, maybe like end of Nightmare, early Hell, something around those lines. And then, of course, with these skills, something to just note is these are fire. This has a physical damage as well to it. And Volcano and Armageddon also have a physical damage. So we'll kind of look and see how we want to mix and match those as we go. Otherwise, though, we'll just get started, kick out, start leveling up. And again, just follow along. I'm going to drop my shield because I don't want to block. Blocking is just annoying very early in this game. And so we'll just hold off on doing that for a little bit. But we'll just kick out here and just level up. And again, if you are wanting to, you know, if you're on YouTube, which is where most of you guys will be watching this, then feel free to pause whenever I'm, you know, too far ahead, or fast forward if you're getting far ahead of me, whatever it is. So you can just kind of keep up with the same speed right there. Poison Shrine will be a nice little kill, plus some gold. We're looking for gold right at the start. So we're just going to be looking for anything like throwing knives, or, you know, armors can be okay, though these are armors won't be worth a ton. Bucklers are usually worth an okay amount if they roll the block mod, like a blue one or a rare one or something. Rings, ammies, jewels, charms, all of those things can be worth some gold at the start, which can just be helpful for us. So no, you still want to drop the shield in 2.4 at the start, because it's only when you're swinging or something that it doesn't block in 2.4, or it does, but it doesn't interrupt you. But if you're just running, you'll still get blocks that'll interrupt you, so it's still annoying. So our first points will be to Vitality. We're just going to be dumping a lot in Vitality early on, and a point into Firestorm right there. Nice and simple. I leave a TP at the Den of Evil, run forward, grab this waypoint, and we will just kill these right here, and then we'll grab the Skill Shrine. Skill Shrines are actually really helpful to take into the Den of Evil. And we don't have a ton of gold, but we do have those potions, so that'll be worth maybe a couple hundred. And that'll be 360. Good enough for us to just get a few stamina and mana pots. Just want to get a couple of those right there. So, like I say, I love the Skill Shrine down in the Den of Evil, just because your damage is just going to be super high with it. And again, we're still looking for some gold, as we do want to just get those initial potions. Remember, you do have to clear the entire Den of Evil, so always be careful about pesky mobs being resurrected behind you, and or just sneaky little corners, things like that. But this is just nice for +1 skill, and for a respec, which we really aren't gonna need a respec in this. However, if there is some point later on, because again, Fire Druid has never been a thing that, like, I've taken through hell, because it's always been too weak for that. But, you know, we'll use our respecs to essentially try stuff. So if we get somewhere like Hell Ancients or wherever it is, and it's a little too difficult with the current build that we have, another point in Firestorm, more points Vitality, then we can go back and respec and maybe try, you know, okay, let's be a little bit more physical in this build or something along those lines, right? Because there are some mandatory fire immunes that we will face throughout this game. And so having that physical damage will be important for us. So we'll just kill these dudes. Nothing too crazy. And yeah. If you have questions, you can leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I or someone else can hopefully help you. Come on, right. And there we go. And if you don't have, ooh, a 2-up in socket armor. So we want to find that, of course, for our stealth later on. I just got mine early. If you don't have a scroll of TP right now, you can just save quit the game and then join back in. And then go talk to Akara. So that works totally fine. We had one right there. Make sure to get a Tome of Town Portal if you can. And just mana pots and stamina pots. And at least have one scroll of Town Portal. If you can't get a tome, you know, you can at least buy the one scroll. So again, we'll put that point into Firestorm. We're just going to keep bumping up Firestorm until level 6. And that is a nice boss group right there. We like Gargantuan Beast. So, one thing to note, and I note this in all my guided playthroughs, is boss groups like this, so the, you know, unique monster with his minions, are worth 500% experience. So there's a reason why almost every single time you see me run past one of those, you'll see me stop to kill it, and it's because the experience is just insane. Another point in Firestorm, more points in Vitality. Right. And champions are worth 300% experience. They're also a higher level, champions and those unique boss groups. They're a higher level than mobs of their type. So here you go again. We have another boss, and so it's the boss and all of his minions are worth that extra experience. And you can watch my experience bar, you know, whenever I'm killing these guys and see. And he's fire enchanted. I'm just gonna leave him alone because his minions are still worth all that extra experience as well. So we got most of the experience there. If you want to stop and kill him, you totally can. But I'm just going to move on and look for Rakhinishu. There he is, because Rakhinishu as well has the same thing, where him and all of his minions are worth a little bit extra. Now, do be careful with Rakhinishu. He is pretty deadly with all of his lightning. So a lot of times you can kill yourself by hitting him once when he's like right next to you and then just taking all the charge bolts to the face. The Druid does have low life gain per vitality point, so you're gonna have a little bit less life than, you know, some of the other characters. And we'll just continue running through here to see what we can find. So I'm not going to talk about every direction you need to run on the maps. Instead, I'll say I have a YouTube video called Map Hack in Your Mind that will hopefully explain all of that to you. There also currently is a bug, and they're fixing it, so it shouldn't be there forever. But there currently is a bug where sometimes your underground passage does not have an exit. And if that happens, you have to reset. So I'm praying that's not happening to us right here. because that would be rough. Also, sometimes the pit level 1 won't have the level 2, and sometimes you won't have a level 2 in your underground passage as well. The caves overall, just Act 1 caves are having some map generation issues, but like I say, it is currently being fixed by the team, so by the time a lot of you guys are playing this, you probably won't have any worry. And again, another boss right there, and you can note the boss generally first off by the color of the boss, but additionally if you hover over one of the mobs, you can see it says minion below it. So if it says minion below it, that means that it's one of the boss's mobs, right? And so it's going to be one of those mobs that's worth a ton. And there we see, there I couldn't see the actual boss because he's hiding behind the trees, but I could see minion on those mobs. And so that's how we knew. And now we are level 6, so we will put a single point into Molten Boulder for right now. And something that I do want to talk about as well is the synergies of this character. I probably need to bring game to front for this, so I'll do that really fast. Molten Boulder and Fissure are both synergies for Firestorm. Molten Boulder is Volcano and Firestorm. Fissure is Firestorm and Volcano, so not Molten Boulder. This is all Molten Boulder, Fissure, and Armageddon, but not Firestorm. And this is Fissure, Firestorm, Molten Boulder, and Volcano, but you can see they have different things. Fissure adds seconds to it, Firestorm and Molten Boulder add fire damage, and Volcano adds physical damage. So, sorry, I'll put my mouse. So they don't all synergize with each other exactly. And so it's just something to note, like if we want to have a lot of fissure damage, and so Firestorm and Volcano are going to be better to boost up for that, and you know, rather than boosting up our Molten Boulder or something, right? But if we do want some physical damage later, then we'll want to do that. So again, it's something we will think about and discuss as we get later on into the game, but yeah, it's good music here for sure. And again, we'll go 5 points into Vitality. So Molten Boulder is really nice because it does have this knockback on it. So it can just kind of barrel through a lot of mobs and knock them back and be helpful for some mobs, especially when you're in the tower here. And as with most characters, we're going to run through the tower a lot. Yeah, and Molten Boulder now goes faster, right? So they did change some things. Molten Boulder moves faster. Armageddon no longer requires Hurricane. And also is actually a lot better. I kind of enjoy Armageddon now a little bit. And then the physical damage is something, you know, that's helpful from the Molten Boulder. So for instance, you know, here is a fire enchant, but we can, you know, barrel those into them. Now, one of the problems is Molten Boulder on some mobs will crash, and on other mobs will barrel through them. The mobs that it crashes on, it's actually not that great, because it just kind of hits and then it's done. The mobs that it's a lot better on are the ones that it barrels through, because it'll keep knocking them back over and over and over again, and then it'll keep hitting them for more and more damage. So on most mobs, it'll actually barrel through. But some of those big ones, it'll just crash, like those gargantuan beasts. On like maggots, it'll crash. On, try and think what else it crashes on. Maybe tainteds it crashes. So you'll learn it as you go, and just kind of note that, like, yeah, it gets a little bit annoying. Now, something else. On bosses, it'll crash, so it's generally not good on bosses. Something else to note is this is probably a good candidate character for quick casting, and maybe we'll even switch into quick casting as we go, because there is no longer the global cooldown that used to exist. So before, if you cast Molten Boulder and it would, you know, say, okay, you can't cast for another second and a half, whatever it was, then you would just have to sit there and wait. But now you can cast Firestorm and then Molten Boulder and then Fissure and everything all in line with each other, and it's completely changed, you know, how it used to be. And so, and here's a good example of like a fire enchanted mob, but because we have that Molten Boulder that can barrel through it a few times, it actually makes it a lot easier. So quick cast, oh, and our game crashes. That's still that bug. I'm actually gonna message them. So we'll go back and hopefully we didn't lose too much progress, but you never know. Okay, so we're level 6 again. I hope we have the waypoint.
Good day.
Alright, we lost the Black Marsh waypoint. Another unfortunate bug of D2R right now is that if you're watching on YouTube, just fast forward. Exactly. Another unfortunate bug is it keeps crashing in the tower for some reason. It's very annoying. YouTube edit incoming? Nah, I'm too lazy. Fast forward. Now, you will note that I still do have the map, and that's because the map file saves differently than the character file, and also saves more often. So, interestingly enough.
Move.
Go ahead and kill a couple of these dudes.
But I haven't seen that bug happen.
That's nice. We just had it happen yesterday and today. If we delete the map file, do we reset it? So, the way it used to be was the D2S file also had the map like on it. Like the map file was not the map because the D2S file has the seed, and so that was a little different there. So I'm not sure if it's changed at all in D2R. I'd have to look. Not quite maxi, but I have to rebuild the bar. Do it later. We had a crash earlier today while shopping for a TV
I'm flying
stand.
out to LA today to go to Blizzard headquarters to give Blizzard a piece of my mind. Jaking.
Good choice. Thank you for doing that. So let's go grab the waypoint and then go down and hopefully don't crash. Is the name lock in PvP still working? I don't know. I haven't done any PvP here. I would imagine yes, but maybe not. So we'll grab the waypoint for a second time. YouTube, welcome back. And head our way into the tower. Again, we'll kill the minions for good experience. And then we will move down. So it actually didn't give us save this map, but we do know the direction we need to go. as it is still the same map. If we are extremely worried about crashing and not saving the waypoint, of course, we can save quit as soon as we get a waypoint, and then it will force save it. So I'm, I guess, taking a chance here. And here, I'll go ahead and put another point into Molten Boulder. You can definitely do a little bit more with Molten Boulder if you'd like. I feel like generally I'm going to be doing more, and I'll go Vitality again, into Fissure and Firestorm. But a couple points in Molten Boulder is really helpful early on. And we'll kill that boss and move forward. And something else to note is you do have access to the /players command. Now, with this, you can change from players 1 to players 8. And something beautiful about the Fire Druid is he is a character that can just function really easily on players 8. Right now, we'll go to like players 5. And we just have to adjust it back before we kill the Countess. But if you're feeling strong, feeling a little daring, whatever it is, and like I say, especially once you have Fissure going, you will be absolutely fine to run at a higher players count, which is a great way to just get a little bit more experience as you're playing through the game. Don't really need dexterity, so we'll drop that Grand Charm. And just keep going here. And again, this is players 5. And you can see easy. And I'll go ahead and dump into Firestorm again now. And I'll go back to players 1 before I kill the Countess. Because she has better drops there if you do that. So we will go into this again. Move that, grab a scepter, because that could be worth some good money. Some more vitality right there. And then, again, you can see very easily, especially when it bowls through, how quickly this character can wreck stuff. Want the ring. Okay. So we'll drop out and we'll come back in and do the same thing.
Good day.
And we have a lot to identify and move forward with. 1 to Oak Sage, 5 Cold Res. I mean, it's not terrible. Plus to FCR is actually kind of nice right now, so we'll go ahead and hold on to that. 6 to mana works for us. 1 strength, 5 fire res. 7 to stamina is pretty trash. Durability doesn't really matter. Damage reduced by 1 is fine. And we'll just get a couple mana and stamina potions and move forward. Countess has better rune drops at players 1. And again, I'll actually go up to players 5. These mobs already spawned at players 1, so they're going to be players 1. But future mobs that haven't spawned yet will be players 5. Yeah, so she's the only character in the game that has better spawn drops on players 1, and it's only for her rune drop, and it's just because of how the rune table works. We have 2 open socket cap. I mean, this gives us the Oak Sage and whatever. We can hold that for later. Oops. You can bring out the Oak Sage if you want. Not a huge deal there. We'll grab the orb for a little bit of gold and continue with Firestorm right there. And remember that Firestorm is still adding damage to Molten Boulder because it is a synergy. So those points in Firestorm are increasing our Molten Boulder damage, and they're going to be increasing our damage to Fissure later on when we hit level 12. Now at level 9, I'm going to go ahead and put 5 points into Strength. We could run an Act 1 Mercenary if we wanted right now. Kind of up to you. Optional preference. If you want to run around and try and get experience as well, you totally can. Here we have a couple boss groups, it looks like, so it's kind of nice. Or if you just want to rush down in the tower, you can also do that, especially because we need to find 4 runes on this character. So since it's a little bit more that we're needing, you know, maybe rushing down is a decent way to go. We'll put that point in Firestorm. We'll put these 5 points into Strength. And now we can use this 10 FCR. And we got 10 FCR on an amulet as well. So that's nice. Normally, FCR wouldn't matter, but now with the casting where there's no longer the cooldown, it actually has some benefit. So that's actually a complete change for this character, where FCR actually has an importance now. And we'll kill that mob, and again Firestorm, and now we're done with Strength for a while, now that we're at 25 Strength. So we'll just continue forward here. Level 4. And the reason we want that is because that's when we can get a belt, which provides us with 12 sockets of potions instead of the 8. So that'll be nice there. Plus it allows us to use like this scepter that we got, and, you know, just whatever stuff. And we'll kill that boss group and continue forward. And again, you'll see me skipping, and you don't have to skip every mob if you don't want to, right? You'll see me skipping a lot of monsters though, because I am focusing on these boss groups a lot more. Since their experience is just worth so much more to me, right? I mean, again, look at my experience bar every time I kill one of these guys. It's just absolutely huge. And we'll drop down to players 1 again, so when we go kill the Countess, we can get more runes from her. And there's Tal-Eth, which is fantastic for us. So Tal-Eth is our stealth, and then we're looking for Tir-Ral as well for a leaf rune word for a staff.
Good day.
So we'll just put these over here.
Good day.
Half freeze duration's useful.
Yes.
And we can just come over here and sell all the rest of these things. And get a couple more potions. We can also look to shop a 2 open socket staff, and as you can see, it's just a 2 open socket gray staff, not a blue mechanic staff. It is a short staff, not mechanics. And we'll pop this over on our offhand for now. This will be useful for a leaf rune word in the future. And again, we'll go to players. Let's go to players 7. Leaf gives +3 to fire skills in a staff. A lot of people believe it is sorceress only because it's, you know, a staff or something. But it's 3 to fire skills. And these are fire skills. So, very important to note. And we will also grab Fissure, and now we can have Fissure here. And again, let's go ahead. Where do we set up Quick Cast? Quick Cast skills. Where's my Quick Cast toolbar as well? Display active skill bindings. Okay. There we go. Strunkler, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. So now we can actually do some quick casting, and I think this is actually kind of fun. Because again, this is kind of the piece of this character that really is, I believe, the true example of why quick cast should exist. Like, I didn't actually care for quick cast very much in Diablo 2, and then this character came out, and I was like, well, now it kind of makes sense to me. Also, remember, we're going to grab all these wolf heads that we can, just to see if we can get some firestorm or fissure or something. Looks like nothing on that one. Oh wait, that's what I dropped. So the way quick cast works is, instead of having to swap to the skill and then use it, you just push the button and it automatically uses it. So it saves you that like one button swapping, which is really nice. Now, it's something that personally I didn't feel like I needed for a lot of my builds and stuff. However, on this build where you're constantly casting all 3 or 4 different skills back to back to back to back to back, it seemed like actually interesting, and so you can just enable it in the gameplay right there. And this point will go into fissure, and these points will go vitality. We're just going to continue with fissure and vitality. But yeah, we can just very easily push the button one time, and that will enable it. So super easy for that. Yeah, and this is how it is for a controller, right? Controllers always have this quick cast enabled. So, like I say, I didn't care for it as much overall, but once this came around, I was like, I see the use case here. So again, just want tier Ral down here, and because I'm on player 7, I'm going to also be getting a ton of experience right now. And once again, this is kind of the beauty of this character, is that not a lot of characters get to experience. This character, like, I'm just going to go to players 8. We're on players 8 right now, and this character just has no problems whatsoever on players 8. Whereas a lot of characters are going to have those issues. So another point in fissure, more points in vitality. The strength of an early fire druid, and we'll go back to players 1 for Countess, is insanely high. Like, actually insanely high. So, just something to note is that you can really take advantage of it and really get way ahead of most. And there's a tier rune and 2 Tau runes, which actually gets us really close, as 3 Tau runes does make a Ral rune. It doesn't matter if she spawns before you get to players 1. It's very strange, but for her it's only on kill that it actually matters, which is the only time, again, that it's different from the rest of the game. The Countess is a very unique situation. There's 5 light res on this small charm. That's fantastic. We will keep that through the entire game. And we'll go ahead and get rid of some of these things like this. Yeah, Countess is very, very weird. Yeah, her rune pool works like a super chest or something, where it's on kill, on click instead of anything.
For me, quick cast was a complete game changer. I always admired how you managed to cast different skills so quickly and never managed to that myself. Now I can play way better without needing some crazy hand coordination skills.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to not quick casting, so to me it's, you know, pretty basic, normal, whatever, to just play through it and just be really quick and swap everything. And I'd still feel comfortable doing it on this character, but it does feel like a lot of unnecessary APM because you are constantly going click attack, click attack, click attack, you know? So it's like, I'm just gonna go forward. You know? So having the quick cast on this character, I can honestly see being pretty viable and solid. And plenty of rares right here for us. So, you know, pick up what you want. If you want to use those rare armors and that sort of stuff, you could be like, oh, that's nice, you know, hit recovery on that. And a little bit of mana. That actually is probably better. I do like a little bit of mana, a little bit more. So we'll go ahead and use that over this +1 Oak Sage, because Oak Sage isn't really doing anything for us right now. I will grab rare rings, however. Yeah, so quick cast aims wherever your mouse cursor is on PC. And those graves a lot of times will have rings, amulets, jewels, that sort of stuff in them, so. And another point in fissure and more vitality. Again, we're just gonna continue this same path. And we'll go down to players 1 before we kill Countess. And now we're looking for a Rao rune or a Tau rune, because we do have the Rao rune already, right? And there's the Tau, so that is enough. 3 Taus makes a Rao. So we have our tier Rao now, we're good to go. And we have a spare tier as well if we want to socket that into something, which we can. I also love, because we're going to do tier Rao in the staff, I also really love having, and this is 6 to mana and 10 poison res, so it's better than that. And I guess we'll put it over the half freeze duration. Again, having a little more mana is nice. But the other beauty of this character, this character is truly spectacular. This is also 1 dexterity, we don't need that. The true beauty of this character is that he can absolutely dominate with so little. Again, this is players 8 that we're on right here. And so we're going to get tons of drops because we're going to murder stuff. We're going to have tons of experience. We're going to be over-leveled, all of these things. And at the same time, look at my mana right now. Like, I don't even have to use mana potions if I have that 1 tier rune in the staff, which we're going to have later. Now, don't make the full leaf runeward already. Well, because it's still good for the multi-builder, right? We'll go ahead and grab that small charm. But just by having, you know, a single tier rune right there, you basically free up yourself from having to use mana potions for so long. And so we can run around, and honestly, we're just going to be using fissure in a lot of areas. So we don't even have to worry a ton about a lot of stuff. And as long as you just kill, I mean, if we look at fissure, it's 15 mana cost. I'm getting 2 mana per kill. So if I kill 7 mobs with a single fissure, I've regained basically all of the mana that I spent on it. Plus I have a little bit of natural, you know, regen anyways. And so my mana just looks absolutely great. And that's why I just love this character. Players 8, super easy and quick for, you know, getting your kills on stuff, for leveling up, all of that, and very low like mana requirement and all of that. As soon as you get that first tier rune roll in, you're set. Let's go ahead and get the hammer.
Charcy will be thankful to get this malice.
And we'll move forward here. Yeah, it's actually really solid endgame now as well. Like I said, the big piece that we'll have to check out is what does the endgame feel like for, you know, playing through with the fire immunes and stuff, right? Because it's very different farming, you know, in one area with it versus trying to beat the whole game and having to go fight, you know, a fire immune Talic. Right, what do we do against Fire Immune Talic in Hell? Is Volcano strong enough? Is Molten Boulder strong enough? Or do we need to do some adjustments? And that's something that, you know, I'm going to be curious to see as we go along. That'll be my biggest piece to look at is what do I think we need for all that? Another point into Fissure. More points into Vitality. Same as always. Let's actually do this. One point to summon, and Merce kills Fire Immune Talic. Mercenary is probably dead. But we very much could have an Act 5 Mercenary quickly teleport around, separate Talic off completely, bring him down to a corner, and then have the Mercenary potentially kill him. And that's just what we'll have to see. We'll have to see what runes we find along the way, what rune word we can make for our Mercenary, etc. So, you know, again, it will be stuff that we will be experimenting with. Nice driving. That's a normal sized mug. We need to get some oversized mugs. What's also really nice with being on Players 8 is, like I said, the drops are just so much higher. But things like chests and caskets and all of these things are just going to drop so many items. You're going to find way more charms, way more jewels, way more rings and ammies and all of that stuff. So you're really going to have a lot better chance at finding, you know, some cool things. And here's a low quality belt. We'll go ahead and put that on, as that gives us that additional slot that I was talking about that we really like. There's also a white hawk helm there. Pick it up and see. 1 to Molten Boulder, 1 to Firestorm. It's pretty nice. We will go ahead and put that on. Now remember, that does not help with synergies at all, but it does help with the damage of Molten Boulder and Firestorm. And we will be using those as we go through with this quick cast especially. Now, if you want to farm normal Andariel, and I wouldn't recommend it as her drop table is decently limited, but if you're for some reason really itching to find Hisaris boots, or you're really hoping to get, you know, Blood Fist gloves or something like that, then you can go ahead and get the waypoint down here, so you can go ahead and farm her. Like I say, I would move on. If you're really looking to farm somebody, I'd say go after Mephisto instead. But some people really want to go for those early game items. They really enjoy it, and that's totally fine, you know, kind of up to you. So if you just get that waypoint, then you'll be good to go. And be careful not to die. While we do a lot of damage, we also take a lot of damage, as Players 8 mobs do 42.5% more damage than other mobs, than P1 mobs, I should say. So that damage can add up quick. And he does not drop Mage Fist in normal, no. Mage Fist would be an amazing drop for this character, though. So we are at Andariel. I did spawn her on Players 8. You can spawn her on P1 if you would like, but she actually has minus 50 fire resist, and so honestly we'll probably be okay. We'll do another point in Fissure. We can also get our stealth now. Go ahead and kill this boss right here. But you'll see players 8 and Dariel versus Fire Druid. You'll watch her melt pretty fast, honestly. Like, it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Players 1, this will take 2 seconds and she's dead. And just like I was talking about, you can farm her for Blood Fist. And sure enough, there they are. Amazing. What a hacker, huh? And just like that, you're done with Act 1 normal. Give yourselves the clap. That was pretty easy, huh?
Greetings.
Good job, you guys. Streamer servers. Go ahead, come here. We'll repair this. We'll put our Blood Fist on. I mean, these are amazing. 30 faster hit recovery and 40 to life. Best low-level gloves you're going to have right there, for sure. Otherwise, getting something like this, honestly, isn't a bad glove. Chance for Frost Nova on this or boots or whatever can also be really nice. So just note that for going forward. We also got another 10 FCR ring. It's actually helpful. We'll put that over this. And we will go ahead and make our stealth in a 2 open socket, gray armor, Tal, Eth, stealth, 25 faster run walk, cast rate, hit recovery, low dexterity, some poison res, magic damage reduce, blah, 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 those things. And we'll go ahead and drink these and fill up our belt. And I do need to turn that in as well. We'll get a couple more stamina pots. And a quick way to fill up your potions is you can actually fill your potions up with shift. And then you just pop your belt on and off. And then you shift click the manas, shift click the healths, and it fills them up again. And you can just rinse and repeat. Super easy to do. Also, thank you, Lucky. Appreciate that. So we've got our stealth now at level 17. At level 19, we get our leaf staff. And we'll come over and turn in the hammer. So we have imbue as well. If we wanted to imbue right now, we could. We could try to imbue a white hawk helm, or we could try to imbue some boots or fast run walk or something.
Get the leaf staff blitzer pod.
I like saving it for later on. Try and imbue something later. Could be really nice, you know. Yeah, leaf staff will be coming soon, but again, we will have to get the cube first before we can do that. And just gonna make sure we kill all of these minions there, as those are worth a lot of experience. And then we'll move forward. So just looking for Dry Hills, Waypoint, or for the Stony or Halls of the Dead. Go ahead and pop that there. Check really quick. See if there's a waypoint here. There's not. No Radament. Oh yeah, we can also do Radament for the +1 skill. We'll go back and do that in a second. Yeah, I'm still on P8. Because again, why not? Like, it's just, the character is just so strong. And, okay. Not seeing waypoint there, so we'll continue up. Another point into Fissure, more points into Vitality. I'm just doing Firestorm Fissure build for normal and probably Nightmare, as we don't really need a lot of physical damage here. When we get up towards Hell, I might consider changing it up a little bit and shift over. And we have respecs available for that, you know. So, but for now, there's not any fire immunes except 1 or 2 in normal. And so, you know, we can just, our current Molten Boulder or a Mercenary, whatever, can deal with those and we'll be good. And then later on we'll want more of that physical damage for sure. Yeah. And for some reason didn't find the waypoint. Just gonna check really quick right here. No clue. Down in one of those few spots we didn't look. So we'll grab this and go forward. Yeah, and again for the quick cast options, gameplay, quick cast skills, and then display active skill bindings. Check both of these for it to work. But yeah, by enabling quick cast or them just removing that global cooldown, it really did change up a lot of this build and improve it because now the damage is so much higher, right? Like, now you're getting this complete mix and match. So thank you, Demaria, for that sub before. You know, that you didn't have before when you had that cooldown. So we'll grab a waypoint, and now we can just go back. Oh, God, gee. And go into the Halls of the Dead. Yeah. Fissure's still going to be our main skill that we use, but having the others to mix in for, you know, sprinkle in for a little extra damage is always really nice. Go to level 2. And you can put stamina potions in your belt. You can now shift click any of those potions. Antidotes, staminas, thongs, you can shift click them into your belt if you have an open row. You can also put Scrolls of Town Portal into your belt if you would like. Scrolls of Identity. Oh no, Chrono. And we'll just find our cube. And again, we're almost level 19 as well, which means we almost have our Leaf Staff, which will be a big boost in damage. And again, it's an even bigger boost in damage because once again, now we have all 3 of those skills that are going to be used at the same time. So it's really wild how much damage, like, increase this character got. Just from that one minor change. Okay, so we'll do Vitality and Fissure again. We'll go ahead and make our Ral rune right here. And again, tier Ral in a 2 open socket staff is +3 to fire skills. Additionally, 33 cold res, which is nice. And of course, we get that 2 mana per kill still. Cold res, 6% is very nice. So again, another endgame charm. And let's say you're running short on ID scrolls, and this vendor doesn't sell ID scrolls. You can just sell your book, and now notice it's quantity 20 out of 20. So that's a great way to refresh your books. You can also do this with strangling gas potions or anything like that. So they will just replenish quantity when they sell it back to you. So it's nice. Kill that guy. And probably the other way is my guess.
Not enough mana.
I feel like my FPS is good right now, though. It is not over here. Wow. Okay, it's just going to be really far there.
I am overburdened.
Sorry, task. Check down here. Maybe up in there. Way down in here. Currently I'm just using a like Dell replacement mouse because I broke my Steel Series 1. But the Steel Series 1 had millions of clicks used, so I can't. I'm just waiting to get a new one. But I do click a lot, I know. Always have. Comes from RTS and MOBA play. Is there a next hit delay on Fissure or anything? No. I don't believe there's next hit delay. Is there? If there is, it's very small. I'd have to look at the list of stuff. You can look at the list of all skills with next hit delay. Perfect. And now we have our book of skill for one more skill, and we'll go ahead and put it into Firestorm.
Return to dust.
And nothing on that. 10 FCR. I will go ahead and use that as well, as once again, FCR is proving itself more viable now. Yeah. Like I say, map hack in your mind is the name of the video if you are looking for where all the exits are and everything like that, but I don't feel like doing a full map explanation video every single time we do a guided playthrough. Because again, saying top left from the way you, or left of the way you came in or anything, doesn't mean a lot to most people until they know how to read tiles. Next point into Fissure and Vitality. And we'll go ahead and leave a TP there just in case we find a waypoint and want to come back. So here we'll just kind of go and see if we find waypoint first, or if we find whatever first. Claw Viper. Kind of see what happens. Creepers are pretty annoying, but thankfully Fissure has decent damage. There's next hit delay on Fissure and Volcano. 5 frames on Fissure, and Volcano drops 10 frame on Volcano Center. Yeah, like I was saying, it's not big on Fissure if there is one. And Volcano having one does make more sense. So we find Claw Viper. And since we have that Fire Oasis waypoint, we're totally good to just run forward here. Ignore our TP and kill everything in here really quick. And see what we get. Large charm. And with these charms, again, I'm looking for hit recovery, resistances, plus to life. Any of those kinds of things I'm gonna keep. Things like plus to gold, things that add damage, especially if it's like 3 to 5 fire damage or something. That doesn't actually add fire damage to my spells. Anything that adds damage like that is adding damage to the damage of like a physical attack, but not to spells. So that's why none of those actually are useful for this character at all.
Ah, yes.
Depends what you're doing, Bereaver.
Roams the world once more.
And now we go look for the maggot lair. And we can just check up here. Nope. I feel like ravens are a lot of the damage. But maybe the wolves. And for the maggot lair, I will be going down to players 1. Because if you've ever been in the maggot lair, you know it's just miserable. And if we were to run into just a bunch of roadblocks of mobs trying to, you know, have them move on fissures and stuff down here is just super annoying. So, no reason. Yeah, I totally believe getting a bear is viable for this build right here. And I'll probably get a point in it at the end just to help out with tanking. I mean, it's very useful to have the ability to distract a little bit or whatever with it.
I can't carry anymore.
And there we go. Feel like more points invested in Molten Boulder helps big time in Act 2. I mean, I'm not really using Molten that much. Like, I use it a little bit here and there, but I'd much rather have the points in Firestorm and Fissure there to boost up my Fissure damage. Like, Molten Boulder does get used, you know, down here for sure. But not, you know, it's not a huge deal. I think, again, it's one of those... There really are multiple builds and ways that you can kind of play this character through the game if you want. Because all of these fire skills are so strong. Especially in normal. So, you honestly get a lot of, you know, option. And none of them are really wrong. I mean, if you want to play a crazy high Molten Boulder, I don't think it's going to be quite as good as Fissure. Another point in Fissure, more points Vitality. But it doesn't even matter because, again, you know, we've been cruising through players 8. So who cares if it's slightly worse? It probably can still play on players 8. What about Armageddon? Armageddon actually has gotten a lot of improvement. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like it. I don't know if I'm, you know, investing a ton of points into it, but I'm at least getting 1 point. Maybe have a few plus to skills on it and then see what happens. I don't know, you know. It's got that physical damage, which could be helpful later on. Again, this is kind of new to me as well. Because this is a brand new build, so we're just kind of going through. It's a guided playthrough with a little bit of experimentation as well. And we have the staff. Now for the Arcane Sanctuary, I mean, I'll go to players 8 here, but for the Arcane Sanctuary, I'll also probably go players 1. And the biggest reason is because fire skills get really weird on staircases, and so if you have mobs that are sitting on top of staircases, it just becomes an absolute nightmare to try and kill them. So for that reason, I'll probably just run P1. Sorry, mouse, you're right. So many choices, not sure what to focus on. Well, that's why I'm trying to give you a path that you can focus on here. You know. And we got the fire enchanted. If you don't want to kill fire enchants, you don't have to. Already level 21, that's so crazy. This boss, at least kill his 3 minions, and now we'll go down to players 1. Yeah, it's all from being players 8. Normally you'd be level 16 here, probably 17 maybe on players 1, but we can just get so many more things killed. And we'll go back for the charm, why not? It's not a speedrun. And it's gold. No way to tell where the summoner is as of right now still. We're always looking. Always looking to figure it out. So here's where, like, trying to cast fire spells on stairs is just an absolute nightmare. And if that's players 8, it just can take a while. Yeah, pretty much we got the Nobel Peace Prize, the Nobel D2 prize of, I don't know, whatever it is, if you figure it out. question we've all been looking for.
It is an honor to serve.
Not the first way. Could if you want, Duck. How do you beat hell with fire build? Hopefully with a lot of physical damage. We'll see how it goes. I have not pain. It's the most fun build in D2? Hard to say. Personal preference, you know? How you gotta kill wave 1? Well, we have physical damage as well, so. Okay, not the second way.
Good day.
I really like doing a trap sim playthrough. I think of the playthroughs, it's a really solid one. Because it has a nice mixture of damage, strategy, positioning, placement, all that stuff. But on top of it, you also have a lot of like crowd control. And so it really is nice. And you know, you have physical damage, you have fire damage, you have lightning damage. So you have all the damage types you need, and plus good movement speed. She's got high life per vitality point. She has fade if necessary. A lot of nice things for her. So I think she's a fantastically fun character. I love doing a hell playthrough with her. I don't really like playing her much beyond that, honestly. But for a playthrough of the game. All right, there it is. Third way. And again, we can go up to players 8. And square, so it goes circle, moon. This is from left to right. Circle, moon, square, sun, double down triangle, or double down arrow, triangle, circle over moon. That is going to be the ordering of the tombs. So you always know where to go immediately. So we'll go to the square. It goes in the square hole. That's right. Perfect. Another point in fissure.
I can't carry anymore.
And more vitality. Now, if you want to go ahead and run around the tombs and get a bunch of experience and level up even more, even though you're already crazy leveled, this is a good place to do that stuff for sure. Because you can just run players 8. Every tomb's just going to have a ton of mobs to kill, and when you get the
9
bosses
months.
in each
Is
one,
it time to give birth to the ladder
it's really
yet?
nice. Thanks, Strike. It is time. Soon. So, optional, but not a terrible idea, honestly. Because again, there's a lot of experience to be had down here. Okay, now we have another fire enchanted. And again, I'm probably not going to want to fight Duriel on like Players 8, though this character can. But it doesn't sound super fun to me. So I'll go down to Players 1 for Duriel. Kajalnet, thank you! Now, if you are feeling nervous about this fight, because he does have, you know, cold damage. First off, you already have cold res from your leaf staff. But additionally, you can get thawing potions. And every time you drink a thawing potion, you gain 50 cold res for 30 seconds. So, it's a very nice way to just have a little extra cold res for the fight. And you can stack it so you can drink 4 of them and you get 50 cold res for 2 minutes. But I mean, you should be able to blow through this fight pretty easily, honestly. And just like that, give yourselves a clap. Act 2 is completed. +1 to summoning skills. Oh, so close. Has some res on it as well.
Diablo, I will find you. I hope it goes.
Also, Arcadius, we got the airheads. Moo Girl says thank you. And we'll go ahead and reorganize this stuff. 13 to life. Not a ton of life, but enough. We'll keep it. And now we move on to Act 3. Didn't we have boots? No, I don't think we ever picked up any boots. We could go shop some if we wanted. Trying, you know, getting a pair of fast run walks would be nice. We could also gamble some. Have some fun.
Greetings.
Mm-hmm. You want to show them your airhead?
Better things than that.
Well, you're supposed to give them the thank you.
Thank you.
And only 12 cents an airhead. A real steal. Oh, I know. It's terrible, Bardock. And we can go back to Players 8. And start Act 3. Now, if you're like everybody else and you hate Act 3 maps and they're confusing and you just don't understand them, have I got the solution for you. Was there a white hawk I missed? I think it was just white purely. Thanks, Kajonet. Subscribe to Mr. Llama SC and then go watch his video, How to Read Act 3 Maps. And you too will learn. Another point in fissure, 5 more vitality. That the maps aren't as crazy, wild, completely nutty as you once thought they were. And there can be a little bit of rhyme and reason to them. Son of a gun, there's no rhyme or reason. Where is it? Just kidding, because I watched the video and liked it as well.
I'll take a game wheel,
for the
please.
algorithm. Thanks, Search.
I can't carry any.
Moo?
Gotta go watch the video now.
6 to life, we'll go ahead and keep that. Thank you, Izan. Once you subscribe to Mr. Lima SC's Twitch channel, you got 3 burr runes in a row? Wow. That's amazing and totally true. Leave that there. And now that you're required to go through Act 3, instead of just skipping it by going to the Trav, you might learn a thing or two about Act 3 maps. You know the only sweeter thing than getting a sub to Mr. Lamessi's channel? Using Daddy Bezos' money to subscribe. Check your Twitch primes, everybody. We'll go to the spider cavern. Thank you, sorry, Ken. And kill some spiders.
No.
Underscore, thank you. And there's the jade figurine. Should be at the first unique mob that you encounter.
Perhaps it's worth.
And H2O amazing as well. Thank you guys for those prime subs. Everybody's fire enchanted today, I know. A lot of fire enchants for sure. Why is the Great Marsh a completely useless diversion? I cannot tell you why. If I was the lead developer of this game, it would be different. Is Trapson good for last start? Mm-hmm. Definitely a good character. It also has gloams. I know. It's just a horrible area that you don't even need to go through. Sometimes. I will say, the bad part about quick cast is I always have to have my hands on the keyboard. It's kind of like driving, you know? Gotta have both hands on the wheel. Ugh. Level 24. If you want to pop a point in Volcano, you totally can. We can add it to our list of skills. Oh man, I don't even know what I want to set the hotkey for it. I guess we'll go deep. 3D Morgoth, thank you. And the T-Train with 10 gifted subs. Holy cow. My goodness gracious.
Ormus may know something about this
Mwah!
blade.
New rune words aren't usable till ladder, correct. New stats, vitality. Thank you, T-Train. So many burr runes for all these people. That's very sweet of you. Yeah, I was wondering who was hitting me for that cold damage. And again, normally I'd be like, putting a point in Volcano, but I mean, it's already at, you know, level 4 because we get +3 to fire skills, which is very helpful. But then we can also just cast all of these things. So amazing. The volcano damage is 99, wait, no, 66 to 74. But that's per, you know, and that's it's 23 to 46 damage and 43 to 48 fire damage per hit. Oh, I'm already level 24. That's unfortunate for Telly staff. So yeah, I mean, it's actually really strong. And so here is a fire immune. But if we want, we can cast Molten Boulder and Fissure or Volcano at him. And this is how we can kill fire immunes. Molten Boulder Gonna be our real hero on it. Okay, grab the brain. So, right there. Is my map a giant maze? There's different set maps for the bottom. So we got the good one for the level 3. Put that there. Poison res 7%. You can keep it if you want. Poison res is definitely the weakest of the resistances that we want to go after, but it's not terrible. And we'll go back. And the only reason that I went down there without getting a waypoint is because I had this waypoint right here. If I didn't have this waypoint, I definitely would not have gone down at first. And we do want to check Hawkhelm, 1 to Poison, Maul, and Feral Rage. Unfortunately, not useful to us. But I would love to get a 2-open socket Hawkhelm. Or just Druid helmet of any kind, as that would be really nice for our character. Then we can make a lore in it later, which is +1 to all skills, and if it has like plus to fissure on it as well or something, that's just a ton of damage. This character will be going all the way to hell. Now we'll be going to hell in sections. But okay, and we'll go back to pumping up fissure and vitality still. Tons of small charms. I mean, again, this is just kind of the nature of Players 8. If you run Players 8 like this, you're just gonna get tons and tons of charms. There's more poison res if you want it. And poison damage does nothing for us. So yeah, you're just gonna get a lot of charms by being on Players 8 because there's just so many drops. So many. But yeah, Flare Jungle is also a fabulous place for leveling up. As you can see, there's a lot of little mini dudes. They do damage pretty quickly, so you have to be a little careful, but they're worth a lot of experience as well. So coming out here and just killing all these guys, if you can get just a filled area, is really nice. Yeah, you won't be able to change the players count if you're online. You have to just have players join your game. 7 poison res. A lot of poison res charms. I'm actually going to get rid of one of them. Don't feel like I need that much poison res in charms. Now, Lower Crost, of course, if you ever want to find a bunch of poppables, this is the place. You can just come around here on Players 8 and just press every single stash, corpse, whatever it is. There's also, of course, these super chests here with the racks. There's an armor rack up here. There's 2 chests down in there. And just see what you get sort of stuff, you know. So feel free to do all of that as many times as you want. Great place to find more jewels, more gems, more charms, more bases, gold. Whatever it is that you need, you can get it here. Fire Druid good for hell? We'll see. I mean, there are a lot of fire immunes in hell. So it's definitely going to be weaker, I imagine, by the time we get to hell. But we'll see what the physical damage is looking like at that point, you know? We might just have to respec more over towards Molten Boulder and Volcano and Armageddon or something. See how that goes. Grab another waypoint. Decrepify, benefit the damage of molten boulder. I don't believe so. Wait, yes. Yeah, never mind, it should. Because it'll benefit corpse explosion. So it does benefit the spells. So yeah, if you want to run with a necro friend. There's a guide on the speedrun.com for how to set it up. I don't have my own though, no. Nice to BB. And I guess we can check here really quick. Perfect.
Not enough mana.
No auto splitter, yeah. I need someone to get working on that, on all that. Will I be using Armageddon? I think it's worth the try. You know? My thoughts. Well, I mean, the thing is you can use Volcano and Armageddon, so. And we're already level 25, it's amazing because of this. If you are not yet level, let's say you're level 21 right now, what you'll want to do is go and farm a little bit in Act 3 until you get up to about level 23. And the best place, one of the best places to do that is to go here and go to Serena. So you go look for, man, I've been poisoned for like a year now. Go look for the temple that faces to the bottom left. Again, another point in fissure. I mean, I'll probably lower it. So here it is. And you can just go in here and kill this. You can also, of course, go to the Flare Jungle. Kill more in the Flare Jungle. That also works. But great place to just go and get some experience. And the reason is because there's a leveling penalty in this game where if you are in Act 5
I can't carry any.
and you get Lamb Essence Tome as well. If you're in Act 5, yeah, we'll grab the Falcon Mask. I just wanted to make sure I get this off before my experience trying this up. And you aren't level 25 yet, you'll get no experience. Like, basically 0. Wait, where is the rare Falcon Mask? Is it outside?
Moo?
There it is. 1 to Fissure. So we'd lose a point in Multiple Boulder and Firestorm, but we'd gain 1 point in Fissure. Tough choice. Adrian Potter, thank you for the Prime sub. It goes for Act 5 and anything beyond. There's just a weird penalty in the game. 20 cold res on it's nice though. 10 FCR with dual res and some mana. We say yes to that.
Good evening.
And now we can turn in the bird and the tome.
Good evening.
You shouldn't, Unholy.
Not in town.
And there. Now we go to Travancore. And grab the flail. Perfect. And this is a player's 8 Travancore as well. It's wild. This character's damage is so wild. Okay. So, now if for some reason you are really wanting to get, you know, more gear, and again, the drop table isn't amazing from normal Mephisto, but it's not like the worst thing ever. This is a place where you can go farm as well. You know, another easy boss to farm, and so just get yourself the waypoint whenever you come across it in level 2, and then you can use that to go and farm. At what point does the damage start to drop off? Act 4 Nightmare is where the damage usually starts to see a decent drop off. So, like, it really makes its way through a lot of the game. Because, again, you're saying it seems like the damage is decent right now. This is player's 8 damage. Like, I can't state it enough that this is not player's 1. This is player's 8, and the amount of damage it's doing is ridiculous, you know? Like, this does more damage than most builds do, or, you know, on P1, and these mobs have 450% health. We'll go players 3 for Mephisto. Could be fun, James. And come over here, kill these guys just so they don't mess stuff up by healing Mephisto. Set a safety TP. And we'll go ahead and fight. Now, if you do want to cheese Mephisto, you can of course do it where you just stand across the river and have him run back and forth in your fissure. That also works. So, kind of up to you what you want to do. I'm just gonna kind of have fun doing all this. And easy enough.
I can't carry him.
Congratulations. Just like that, you are done with Act 3. Give yourselves the clap, everybody. How easy was that? Now, we should go back and get ourselves a teleport staff. So I will show you guys how I do that here. Unfortunately, I did not get this at level 23, so I'm going to have to do it the way. So I go to Act 3, and I just look for teleport charges on a staff. Now notice this has +1 to teleport, but this is sorceress only. That is not teleport charges. This has, for instance, level 2 Frost Nova charges. So I'm looking for teleport charges. It will be level 24 required. So that's going to be, you know, a little annoying right there. But the way you can use that to your advantage is you can actually do this earlier. So for instance, I could go and do this at level 23, and then it would be only red staffs or unusable staffs. And there you go. That has teleport charges on it. We're good to go. Right there. Right, so you can make it a little easier to shop because you only have to look at the ones that you can't use yet if you're level 23, 22, 21, whatever. You have to be at least level 19 to spawn it, though. But we've got that. Let's move on out. Now I'm still on Players 3. And I'll probably keep it here for Act 4 just because there is a lot of fire immunes in Act 4. We'll go another point into Fissure. And it is really annoying to have all those fire immunes. And we'll continue with Vitality. So, you know, if you want to raise it up, you can. I mean, you can still see we're doing some decent damage right now, but kind of all personal preference.
I can't.
And you can still see just the power of dropping a single fissure.
Impossible.
Just melt so many mobs. Now we will just go look for Isual. He'll just be somewhere around here. And I'm actually going to go down to Players 1 for Isual because he does have a lot of health. And so having him on a super high players count might take a little bit of time. When you run into a pack of mobs, do you pre-pot? I mean, once you hit your top health, then, you know, the potion stops. So you can't really pre-pot exactly that way. I don't know how quick cast works with auras, I'm not gonna lie. This is my first time using it. Smack you. No, I have Leaf Staff on main hand, Telly Staff on off hand. Apple, thank you. I'm gonna set a TP, go get this waypoint, and then come back to my TP. Another game crash. YouTube, feel free to fast forward. It's always when we have no waypoints either. That's a really random, weird game crash. Oh no, did it rewind my telestaff? Oh my god, it did. It's really been bad in that. I did reboot recently. Alright, well. YouTube, again, feel free to fast forward a notch.
Not in town.
Super annoying. Can we fast forward as well? No.
Not here.
Yeah, usually it's like when you're entering, you know, like a new zone or something. Sometimes you'll have it, whatever, but very strange to see it right there. Where it's just literally walking around in Act 4.
Yes.
Game doesn't crash on default settings. Yeah, but I mean, I've got plenty of guy playthroughs on Legacy.
Not in town.
The whole point was to have some on T2R. That's right, Amparo. How about that 124 speedrun from the Blaze Sorceress?
Not in town.
Absolutely flying. Ouch, Nagart.
Hello.
Dun-dun-dun. I don't think so, Rustic. I don't think I have any command line arguments. I just forgot, Sonny. I mean, we were just so over-leveled from Player's Aid all the time.
Not in town.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh.
I think mine are default, though. Seba, thank you for the sub. Scrolled over at TP staff. No, it has to be TP charges, remember.
Not in town.
Promise you I haven't missed one.
Not here.
Game's crashing on Xbox at the tower now. Ay. Why is everyone playing Fire Druid now? Because it just got a big buff with the cooldown being removed and damage change and synergy change and different stuff.
Here.
Don't.
Not in town.
Teleport. Okay. Save and quit. It won't crash again.
Moo.
Fissure vitality. Tatsuko. You know, I guess we know the exit's over there and Isual is not up top, so we might as well search the other direction and find Isual. Remember, just look until you find the quest log light up. If you see the quest log light up, that means Isual is there, even if you didn't actually see him. Perfect. +2 skills. DPS is nice on it, yeah. Did we find this waypoint? I don't believe so. Let's try going this way instead. No, it's fine in the low base. Defense doesn't matter as much. And we'll go back and get our points from Isual here soon. And they'll probably just go into Volcano, as that gives a boost to there as well. And helps our Molten Boulder's physical damage. Perfect. I mean, yeah, we can go to Forge if we want. Shouldn't be bad. Maybe get ourselves an Amrune, which could be nice to get a Spirit or something. As Spirit Weapon will be our choice later on, since while Leaf Staff does give us the +3 to fire skills and is great, and we'd love to use it the whole time, that is a little dangerous to do if we're just always using Leaf, because then we're really running low on resistances and stuff later on, so you gotta be super careful with that stuff. Yeah, you can, Al. So we'll sack +1 skill there and then run like an Ancient's Pledge or something, and that'll be much nicer for us.
can.
And we need to go get the stone. Wind Druid is still great, yes, of course. Get our plus to skills. If you don't have the stone, you can just talk to Cain, and he'll give you one. It's a nice little bonus. If he doesn't give you one, then you've left it somewhere in the Act 4 town. Okay, and with these plus 2 skills, oh, we could also go Fissure and then Volcano. So we'll do that. Thanks, Auntie. This is great for Blaze Source. So I'd love to get an Amrune here, as that would be good for our spirit. And of course we will, because what else would we get? Perfect. So now Talthol, Ort, Am, of course, are spirit runes. Streamer loot, I know. If we didn't get the Amrune there, it's not a huge deal. We can always just do Nightmare Towers to get it. So, like I said, it's not a crazy big deal. And it's not usually too bad to get in Nightmare Tower there. Yeah, so... And that's where we'll be going anyways, to get our Thol rune. We can get our Tal and Ort from doing the Barb quest. But we also might want to use those in, you know, the staff, or in the Ancient's Pledge shield, so... Drop a Fissure over there for those guys. Whew, busy. And I am still on P3 right now. Again, going down to like P1 in Chaos is not a terrible idea. Just because it's a little difficult sometimes in here, and you got the fire immunes and stuff. But you could also be up on P5 or P7 or whatever if you wanted that as well. Like, you are still strong enough, it just is a little bit harder. So for me, I like to be a little bit lower on that, and I'll get more experience later from other things. What mercenary do I suggest for Fire Druid? I mean, I might try out that Act 5 mercenary again, honestly. He seemed to be really good on the playthrough, whereas the Act 2 mercenary dies a lot easier, and without being able to bug him, it wasn't as successful, you know? It definitely had some more difficulty, so... That Act 5 mercenary seems decent, and I kind of almost like the two-handed better than the one-handed, because the two-handed cast Battle Cry, which is super good when against the mobs that we like need them to cast it on, you know. The one-hander, or the frenzy guy, casts Taunt, which is, you know, okay, whatever, but he generally just taunts the mobs that are already attacking him, and they're still going to be super strong, so, you know, I mean, he's very good, and with really good gear, he's super good, but without great gear, I kind of like the two-hander better. But we'll see what happens with, you know, the gear that we find as well. That's always a big piece. Okay, so now we'll go down to players. Battlecry lowers the physical damage of the mobs. So they're gonna do less damage to me and to my mercenary, which will help him survive more. Stealth broke. And that's what I'm really wanting there. Put another point into fissure. And here's where we can do volcanoes and molten boulders. To kill Grand Vizier. Seems like I run at half health a lot. Yeah. As a speedrunner, I'm more used to and okay with it. If you're not, that's totally fine.
Not here.
You know, run at what makes you comfortable. Yeah, they have physical damage. Oops. Yeah, whatever. And now we fight Diablo. I mean, I like to pick up any... gems are worth good money at the very least, so... damage. And just like that, El Diablo es muerto. Something like that. Give yourself the clap.
What do you need?
Act 4 completed. And we're flying, baby. Let's go to Act 5. And I'm gonna go back to Players 8, going into Act 5. As, it's nice. Save and quit? You're right. Because if that fails, then that'll be a big setback. So we'll make sure that we save it in real fast. Act 3 mercenaries unfortunately just don't have any good sustain, so they're pretty sad. I did not, Lord.
Hail. Nothing will stand in my way.
I don't really care to pick up a lot of jewels because, especially at this level, they're not going to be very good usually. Sometimes I'll pick them up just for a little gold or something, but rarely do I expect it to be worth a ton. Night Eraser.
I can't carry.
What do I mean by Players 8? You can, in single player, you can type /players, space, and then a number between 1 and 8, and it changes the game to have difficulty as if there's more people in the game. Which also means more experience, more item drops, things like that. So for certain characters like this one, who are just extremely strong and can handle it, it's really nice. If I'm playing like a melee barbarian, I'm probably not changing the player count very often, because he's just not going to do well at higher player counts. No, Verby. Kill Shank. And if you're ever looking to farm levels and you are at least level 25, then coming out here and just farming, especially on players 8, Eldritch and his minions is really, really good, easy experience. So. Ring mail. So, just heads up. Okay, so we do want to save the barbs. We'll look for those.
Sup, dogs?
Just the one here. What's up, DB? How you doing? Thank you so much. Yeah, if you're online, you can't do change players. Instead, you just have players join your game. Or, yeah, and then you're on a /players, because, I mean, that's what it is. Put another point into Fissure. And third barbs. Not quite. And more vitality. Again, really just pumping that. I guess we'll want to get a little more strength here soon. At some point. And we'll save the third barbs. I'm maxing Fissure first because we're going to be running Fissure through all of normal and then a little bit of Nightmare. Well, they changed. The game got harder and whatever stuff since then, and so... Yeah, players, base 8 there, and the prompt usually comes up, but sometimes it doesn't. Chat's broken in this game, so... Annoying. But chat was also busted in the last game, too. Didn't work in like half of the online games, at least. I mean, lightning is still probably the top DPS for a sorceress. Least favorite act? I mean, it probably is Act 3, but I've grown to like it a lot more than I used to. Oh, I burned down the doors so you can teleport? Because teleport charges cost a lot of money. We don't have that kind of money here. You think we can afford teleport charges and 79-cent airheads? Ridiculous. We'll grab this waypoint just for safety, and then we'll go to the frozen river. Yeah, we just have one source really be a static bot. And maybe have a second one be kind of one. Generally the other ones are like fire source or blizzard source or something. You've eaten yourself sick on the airheads you bought? Yeah, I ate a lot of them as well. Which item in Detour is the best? Grief. I've got a teleport staff we shot. Grief greater than Enigma? I mean... potentially. Grief's pretty dang good, man. Let's go ahead and put a point in Armageddon. Why not? $65 to $80 and $187 to $329 fire damage. Why not? And then Vitality. Yeah, and Grief also only costs a low rune, whereas Enigma costs Jaw and Burr, so cost-wise. Go to the Ancient's Way. If you want to get the portal down here, you can, or the waypoint, just in case something happens. Find it. There we go. And we can go not individually stone. You'd have to turn off all of the skill sounds. And do the Frozen River now.
Not enough mana.
That's expensive mana cost. And we'll put another point into Fissure and Vitality. That Armageddon is not bad now, is it? Leap attack has an AoE now, yes. One of the new changes.
Ooh.
Just killed my first non-pluggy Diablo clone this week for my hardcore grail. Annie was 20197. If my paladin dies, I'll die too.
That's sick. Super sick. And we'll go get our plus 10 all res. And then additionally, we can go and get our Ralort Tal runes. And just save those over there for now. For sure. Oops.
Not in town.
Wait, we want to go to the Ancient's Waypoint. Better helmet from Anya? We can go see if she's got something nice for us. Nope. How's the Druid so far? Fantastic. I mean, again, we're just cruising players 8 everywhere with them. She gave us the bottom of the barrel garbage right there. Thanks, Anya. I save you, and that's what you get us? Insulting at that point, you know? I just love that I'm actually getting to run Armageddon. Like, this is real life, and I'm running Armageddon. Remember to set back to players 1. And enjoy. Now, every now and then, Korlik and Talik will have really crazy high fire res. If that's so, you can just open a town portal and reset them. It's decently rare usually, but it does happen. And we'll go another point into Fissure and Vitality.
Let's go ladder.
Thank him, Turner. Armageddon. Belt is broken. Doesn't really matter. There's nothing. It's just white belt, so it means nothing. 1 to Hurricane on that. Now, I do like getting the waypoint here. Just in case you want to do some bail runs and stuff, because you can always do bail runs up into your 40s. So if you are wanting a little bit more, you know, getting this waypoint is usually pretty nice. So if you, for some reason, find level 3 first, you can just set it and then run back and go get that waypoint after. So, Sock at the helm for lore, but it's Hurricane. We're running Fire Druid.
Ooh.
Hey Llama, how do you feel about removing the doctor cap? I understand it gives even more value to the herb, but so what? It's the best rune and always has been, so let's embrace that.
It'd be a terrible idea. Terrible idea. You don't need to be 100% invincible. And now that we've got that maxed, I mean, shoot, we could start really bumping whatever we want. Let's just go into Firestorm still. Oh wait, who's still in here? Okay. So we'll go to players 1 for wave 1. Because, it has that fire immune guy. Lento. And now we can go up to players 8 for experience purposes. Always be careful of Bartuk and his lightning enchant. This build will be on Icy Veins in the future. I haven't built it out there yet, though. So it'll be on for ladder. And let's try wave 5 at player's 8 as well, why not? Tough, but possible. Again, it'll be a really good experience, so. Oh yeah, look at that experience. Look at that experience. Oh my god. Over a whole level. And we'll do players 1 for Bale because Bale's really annoying. Come on, mister. Mister's annoying with that spectral hit. Oh, serpent skin armor. That'd have been nice. Max Fissure, Armageddon, Volcano. I mean, the synergies don't always line up exactly, so you have to definitely think about that, you know. We'll figure it out. But boom! How easy was that? Bale done. Normal done. Level 35. I mean, what more do you want? What more do you want, everybody? Easy. So that is the Fire Druid part normal. I'll do a quick gear review for him before we head over to Nightmare and everything there. Here's our skill build right now. I can take off my weapon and my helmet. Here's our skill build currently. Just all in that. Here's our stat build currently. I do need to take my strength up to 34 eventually to get a 3 open socket large shield. And that's something that you can either just take a white large shield to Larzik and waste your socket quest on it if you want. Or you can come over here and go to Farah and just shop a 3 open socket large shield. It might take a few tries. You might get it immediately. Now, additionally, we can go and do cows. And maybe we'll do... I don't have them. Yeah, we'll just go to this. You have to do that. We could go and do cows. Because if you find a broadsword, longsword, or crystal sword in the cows, then it's really nice. And it will get 4 open sockets at Larzik, and then we can make our spirit in that. Any sword in Nightmare that's broadsword or longsword will just get 4 open sockets. Crystal swords will get 6 though, so you have to be careful kind of where you get it from. So that's why the cows is just a safe place to go and look for it. So we'll grab this though. Or transform a different character. I mean, you can do that too. But yeah, we can just go and look for one of those swords. Head over, do some cows. Whatnot. Gear-wise, we have our leaf staff. We have our stealth armor. I have a 1-1 helm that I found. Multi-bolter firestorm. 10 FCR on rings and that. And then we got some blood fist. I don't have any belt and I don't have any boots right now. We can go shop some in Nightmare to get something a little bit better. So that's not a big deal. And we've been on players 8 and cruising for, you know, this whole thing. I mean, it's just gross, this character. Okay.
I can't carry anymore.
Check out the large charm, 10 to life. I don't hate it. So we can go look really quick and do 1 cows and see what we get.
Deckard Cain, leave this place.
Grab another one of these. And let's go. To the Moo Moo farm. And so like I say, I'm really looking at, okay, I'm looking at antlers. 3 open socket is actually nice if we wanted to just put like Ral or Thol or something in there for a bunch of resistances. So that's not bad at all. But I would love a nice 2 open socket Druid helm that I can make a lore in later. And there is a crystal sword right there. So that crystal sword is guaranteed to get 4 open sockets from Larzik. So we're already set on that. And at players 8, you'll most likely find a crystal sword pretty easily, honestly. Or a broadsword, or a longsword. I mean, the best one is crystal if you're doing it from the normal cows because it's very, do the twister. Very low level requirement. Or like stat requirements. It's the lowest of the 3. So we can just kill some cows if we want. At players 8, it's actually surprisingly okay experience. 1 to tornado. save the quest for socketing other things. You can also do that if you'd like, but if you try and cube socket it, first you have to have the stuff to cube socket. Second, you know, it's not even guaranteed to get 4 open sockets. 50-50, so it's up to the individual if they want to go for it or not. For the sake of this guided playthrough, I think doing it is fine. In the just socketing and guaranteeing it. Where's Armageddon? You're right. Another Ort rune is nice, and this is also where you can actually find some nice stuff. We'll get another point into Firestorm. You can actually find some nice stuff here as well. Charms, you can find lots of runes here, soul runes, stuff like that. Superior to Zoo? Yeah, probably. Remember, you can kill the king now, so no worries about that. Ith-rune. I guess I'll pick it up because I don't have one, just in case there's a rune later on that needs it. And good enough. Okay, so let's go back. We can socket it.
Not here.
One-third of Enigma complete. That's right. Broadswords do work. But if it's already socketed in the cows, it won't be 4 open socket. So there we go. 4 open sockets. And Tal, Blank, Ort, Am. So we just need that Thol rune.
Moo.
And we'll be good to go there. Thank you, Ifu. Gold find. It's actually a perfect gold find small charm, so I'll keep it on my other characters. Yeah. And now you're all set, ready for Nightmare, level 36. Oh yeah, I want strength. Oh well. Crushing. Absolutely crushing it, chat. So, anyways, YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe and smash some buttons or whatever you guys do. I'll go repair my belt for everybody. Part Nightmare will be coming up in the future here. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Peace, YouTube. Have a good one.